Hi everyone, it's Dr. Charlotte Hodges, and today I have my cooking buddy. Introduce yourself, baby.
I'm Margie Ruth, and today we're making lentils, and my mom's gonna explain everything that we have to make lentils.
Perfect. So we had gotten a couple of requests online on some vegan dishes, and I'm a meat eater. Don't you like meat, baby?
Nope. I don't like barbecue meat.
No, she doesn't like barbecue meat.
Or steak.
Or steak. No, but you do like mac and cheese.
Yep.
Yep.
Got it in the living room.
Yes.
I was watching Sesame Street.
That's right. Yes,
while my dad was asleep.
Yes. So we had a couple of requests about, hey, can you make some healthy vegan dishes? Are we able to do this and still have a bariatric diet? And the answer to that is, of course, yes. So I started looking through some of my cookbooks, and one of my favorite cooks is Anna Garten, and she has this wonderful recipe for lentils and kielbasa. Now, of course, if you're a vegan, you're not going to add the kielbasa, but you can certainly make this dish without any sausage or with any meat. So you'll need a couple of different ingredients, and there's kind of two parts to this recipe. The first part is actually making the lentils and some of the veggies, and then the second part is actually making a dressing, and Margie Ruth here is gonna help me make that dressing.
And I'm gonna eat carrots.
I know, oh my goodness. I've had to cut extra carrots because she loves her carrots. So I'll be looking down, reading off some of these ingredients, and Margie, I want you to point them out to me. So what you'll need for this recipe is you're gonna need to get 2 cups of diced leeks. Right here. Leeks. And actually, when you go to the grocery store, if you get, when you buy the leeks, if they're 2 in a package, 2 big ones, that's all you need. That'll be 2 cups. And then you need a cup of carrots. Point into the carrots, baby girl. Carrots. Then you need a pound of green lentils. I just went to the grocery store and found a bag of lentils. So you can get them in a pound, 16 ounces. You also are going to need to get an onion that is stuck with cloves, and you just go get a little bottle of whole cloves and stick them in there. You'll need 6 cloves in the onion, and then you'll also need to get a small turnip. Now, the first time I ever made this particular recipe, I didn't have cloves. I don't even think I had an onion, and I didn't like turnips, and I wasn't really reading the recipe, so I didn't even add this part. However, when I was really reading the recipe, I realized that you actually discard these at the end. So they're not even like in the actual dish, they just help with flavoring. So don't worry if you don't like a turnip. But you need a small turnip and an onion with the cloves. And then whenever you're making your vinaigrette, you'll need to use Dijon mustard. Can you show them the mustard?
This is the Dijon mustard. You can't.
Yep, it's gonna be right here. Red wine vinegar, some garlic, and some salt.
Salt. I love to eat salt when it's not even cooked.
Yes, she sure does. So, let's go ahead and get started. What do you say, baby?
Yeah!
All right, so what we are going to do right now is start off making our lentils. So you'll first start, let's turn on the fire. And you start off by adding in 2 tablespoons of olive oil into your hot pan.
Need some carrots?
Well, we're first going to start off with our leeks. So can you hand Mama the leeks, baby? Thank you.
Need one?
We'll do that in just 1 second. So what you'll do is you'll add in your leeks, and then you want to cook them for about 5 minutes. That way they can get nice and translucent. You know, before I made this recipe, I really had never cooked with leeks. It was after this recipe I ended up making this salmon dish that called for leeks, but the very first time I ever cooked with a leek was actually when I made these lentils. And while I was cutting them up, I was like, what does this thing taste like? And it tastes like a really mild green onion, but it almost has a slightly buttery flavor. It's actually quite nice. It's really mild, it's not very spicy. And there's another recipe that I'm going to have posted, and it's the very first recipe in the cookbook, The Art of French Cooking by Julia Childs. Her very first recipe is potato soup with leeks. It is so good. So I'll make that for you guys as well. So I'm just gonna come in here and I'm going to get this browned, or not really brown, but I'm gonna get these leeks nice and translucent with a little bit of the olive oil. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. Okay, so now that my leeks have been cooking in the olive oil for about 5 minutes and they're getting a little translucent, what we want to do is add the carrots and we'll let those cook for about a minute. Baby, can you hand me the carrots? Nice. They're a little less than half a cup now. You like those carrots, don't you, baby? So what we're going to do is we're going to cook these carrots in with the leeks. That way they kind of get a little bit of flavoring together. You're not going to cook them very long. You'll then add in your lentils and you'll add in your water, and then you'll let this all simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes. So, hand me those lentils, baby girl. Hand me these. All right. We just add that in. Can you hand me the turnip?
Mom.
Oh, you can just hand it to me. All right. Onion with the cloves.
I'm just gonna throw it in there.
You want to throw it in there? Just pitch it in there.
Ready?
Uh-huh. Go, come on, throw it in there. Nice, turnip. And then lastly, what we'll do is we're gonna add 6 cups of water and help bring it to a boil. And then you'll just...
I'm gonna throw this turnip in.
That lentil, yeah, go for it. So what you'll do is you're gonna bring this to a boil and then let it simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes, keeping the onion, preferably with the side with the cloves down. Keep that in there, as well as your turnip.
You forgot a carrot.
You forgot a carrot? Okay, throw it on in there. Okay, very good. So the next thing that you'll do is you'll let this simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes uncovered, okay?
And now what are we gonna do?
Now we're gonna make the dressing. So we're gonna let this cook. Once it comes to a boil, you just let it simmer. All right, now while our lentils are cooking, we're gonna go ahead and start to make our vinaigrette that will go over the lentils once they're done cooking. So what we'll first do is get started. You need 3 minced garlic cloves. You want to put that in the little pot and use your little spatula. Here we go, baby.
Why is it so wet?
Oh, that's just how garlic is. And then you're going to have 3 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Just use your little spatula and scoop it out like Gigi does. Just get any brand that you like.
It looks like peanut butter.
It does look like peanut butter. It does not taste anything like peanut butter. Let me get this last little bit.
Oh.
We're gonna get this in. It's okay, love. Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry. Okay, that's you wanna add in the vinegar? Then you're gonna add in 5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, whatever brand that you'd like.
Gonna mix.
Start to mix. Ooh, just be careful so it doesn't slap everywhere.
Looks like vinegar.
It does. Well, next you'll need 2 teaspoons. Ooh, no, let's fill her up. 2 tablespoons of salt. So get a nice big teaspoon. 1, and add in 1 more. Ooh, hang on. Okay, there you go. 2 teaspoons. All right, and then finally, let me put in some pepper. About 1 teaspoon of cracked black pepper. And then you'll mix it together. Once you kind of mix it together kind of like this way, then start using a whisk, baby. Here we go. Mom's gonna use a whisk.
I want to use a whisk.
Okay, use a whisk. There you go. So what you'll do is you'll whisk this all together. Whenever your lentils are done, you'll then add half a cup of olive oil to this vinaigrette, whisk it really nicely, and then you'll end up pouring all of this over your lentils. Okay, so keep on stirring, baby. Just keep stirring, just keep stirring.
Just keep swimming,
Just keep swimming. So one of the fun things about this, or maybe I should say, one of the things I noted about this the very first time is that I made this was I didn't understand why we weren't adding in a lot of salt or a lot of flavoring into the lentils. And that was until I actually ended up adding the dressing. You got it. You'll find that the lentils are cooking nicely, but a lot of the flavoring is really going to be coming from this dressing. So that's actually why you're not adding in a lot of salt or those types of spices while your little lentils are cooking. Okay, now that your lentils are cooked, what you need to do is you discard the onion, discard the turnip, and drain them. Now the recipe does call for you to save that liquid. I forgot that step, I just kind of pitched it. However, if you find whenever you're making this little salad that's a little dry, it really is good to kind of keep some of that liquid because it has that nice starch in it, and you can add a little bit as needed. So don't do what I did. Don't get rid of the liquid. So now that your lentils are done, you kind of put those to the side. Let's finish our dressing. What you're gonna do is you're gonna slowly begin to whisk in half a cup of good olive oil to your mustard and vinegar mixture. And so you're just trying to make a nice emulsion right here. Once you get this all incorporated, you're going to add this to the lentils. Now, the last steps of this recipe are you're gonna take 6 little scallions and slice them up. You'll also add in half a cup of fresh parsley that's chopped, and also a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of fresh thyme. Now, you guys will have to forgive me. I went to the grocery store, I bought fresh thyme, I have no idea where I put it. So I'm actually using dried thyme, so I'm using a little bit less, because sometimes I find it's a little pungent. And also, I misplaced the parsley too, so I'm not using fresh herbs, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm just using dried parsley and dried thyme. So let's get this all nice and whisked together, and then you'll just pour it on top. So this is our nice dressing that you will add. Get all the extra little bits. Now, if you were wanting to add the kielbasa, at this time, this is where you would take your browned kielbasa and just add it once all this is incorporated. Or if you just want to have it on the side. I think the very first time that I did this, I actually didn't put the kielbasa in the lentils themselves. I had it on the side, but you can do whatever you'd like. I actually went to the grocery store and I got turkey sausage because, pardon me, I am trying to make this a little healthier. But of course, if you're a vegan, you wouldn't add any of that meat. So you'll add in your 6 scallions. You'll add in your parsley. And then you'll add in your thyme. Ooh, I find sometimes thyme can taste like grass. It tastes like fresh cut grass to me, how it smells. So you'll just get this all nice and incorporated. And you can actually serve this hot or cold. I prefer to serve it warm though. And it's just a really, really tasty side dish. Has a really great flavor. So the very first time I made it, it was in the winter time, and ooh, it was nice and cozy because it's kind of a really hearty meal, especially if you're adding in the sausage. All right, so here we have it. This is our nice lentil and kielbasa salad. If you want to add in your kielbasa, again, you would do it at this time. For me, I'm going to leave it out today. I am not going to be vegan or vegetarian though. I plan to add fish as our main course and just use this as our side. So I hope for all you folks that are out there, I want you to know that you can have a nice, tasty dinner and still adhere to a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet. I think that also kind of gives my bariatric patients a little hope too, that you can still have a nice, good, high protein diet and remain vegan as well. If you found that this was useful, or if you really enjoyed this recipe, please feel free to share this with your friends. And happy eating and happy cooking.